Welcome back, everybody. It's Ask the Expert with Recycle Frog. Today, if you've got questions, there's an easy way to get answers. Just give us a call. 613-789-6559, extension 2803. Email questions, Facebook questions. You can even tweet them at us if you like. Make sure you do it in the next little bit. All right, here's a look at some of the silver we were talking about. We've got some gold here as well, and the price of silver and gold really taking a beating on the markets right now.
They are, yeah. Especially the last week and overnight, when it opened on the markets in Asia overnight, we saw a massive whack to it this morning. 6% down for gold and about 10% down for silver.
Any reason behind that, or?
You know, I think one of the triggers was that there was a lot less demand for gold. At least that was one of the reports that I read this morning.
Yes.
Out of India, it was down to about 23 to 24%, which is a pretty significant drop since they're one of the biggest consumers.
Right.
And a lot of the big financial institutions in Europe and Asia decided they weren't going to make their regular purchases, so the demand really did drop significantly. So.
Yeah, and like anything else, if the demand drops, the price drops.
Yep.
Simple as that. And the same thing applies to silver?
Yes, absolutely. Gold and silver tend to trace each other. They shouldn't, theoretically, but
they do.
But they do.
Maybe because they're a precious metal, who knows?
Exactly, they're grouped together.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what happens in that case, David?
It's
you were
interesting.
obviously paying attention to the gold and silver markets.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of people will ask me, what does your business change? Is it affected by these swings up and down? And I say absolutely. You know, the psychology of this is very significant because people will say, oh, maybe I should wait until it goes back up again, or you know, maybe it's going to come down. When we see a big drop like this morning, I'm anticipating a lot more people coming to us. And the reason being is they're worried now that they're going to just keep losing money because, you know, in theory, we've broken through a technical point here in gold and silver where the bottom, we don't know where the bottom is now. So,
right.
You know, $1,500 was a very important number for gold, $25 for silver, and we've broken through those levels now. So we could continue to head lower. And so, you know, I think the consumer should be thinking about, you know what, if I've got things that have already appreciated a lot in value, why not take some of that? Similar to stocks, right? If your stock doubled in price, why not take some of the profits out of that? Same thing with this material.
Why wouldn't you take advantage of higher prices now for the material you're selling?
And the reality is, you know, if you had, say, $500 of silver, you know, we group all of this together and you had $500.
Right.
It's down 10% of that. So now instead of getting $500 on Friday, you're getting $450 today. Well, tomorrow it could be $400. You know, so it's important for people to think a little bit like that.
Good point.
Yep.
Yeah. We along the lines of gold, and we were showing you these fillings and crowns and so on made of gold a little earlier. Jason is on the telephone with a question on that. Jason, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Where are you calling from today, Jason?
Calling from the west end of Ottawa, around Parkdale area.
Very good. Very good. What's your question?
Yes, I was ball went off in my head, kind of pretty much when you guys were talking about the dental gold.
Right.
I have one myself that's taken out, and I went to a few different places and been told different stories. Some of them saying that they were very, very firm on saying that most dental gold is mixed with other metals, therefore I wouldn't get as much, you know, if I were to sell them.
Right. So you're wondering about the purity of this type of gold?
Yes.
Well, it's a great question and a very common question. The nice part about when you come to see Recycle Frog, Jason, is that we have a tester. I don't have it here today, but it's a very simple testing device that we use, very accurate, from 5 carat all the way to 24 carat pure gold. And it's got a nice little LCD display on it. So when I test, and I have to test every single piece, every one of us that works for Recycle Frog has to test it. We're going to see the results, and they typically fall between 16 and 19 carats in that range. I see fairly commonly 17 carat for dental gold. When I see that result, we're going to show it to you. So there's nothing hidden there. You'll see exactly what it is. And when you talk about 16 to 19 carats, you're talking a fairly high purity material, you know, roughly around 75% pure. There is some of the white gold. So Jason, I'm not sure if yours is typical yellow gold like this, or if it's white gold. White gold tends to be, you know, sort of 50-50. It can be another alloy that's not necessarily high purity gold.
Right.
But if it's yellow gold, there's a very good chance it's in the 16 to 19.
But again, you test each and every piece that comes, you know, in front of you. So.
Well, it's important for two reasons. You know, for the customer, of course, they want to know exactly what they have. So they want to know that this ring is 10. You know, this next one is 14. But we also need to know that because we have to make you a purchase offer. If we don't know exactly what that purity is, then, you know, one of two things can happen. We're either going to pay the customer too much or we're going to pay the customer too little.
Right.
And in both cases, it's not a good thing. So we got these state-of-the-art resistance testers that are really the best in the industry. So it protects the consumer as well as our company.
Yeah, part of your standard equipment that you see at all your events.
Yep.
You've got several going on today. We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
But we do have one final segment for you to ask questions of David here. Nepean Sportsplex today and tomorrow. Recycle Frog events. Perth Manor Hotel in Western Smiths Falls tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. The Days Inn in beautiful Bells Corners and Almont Community Center coming up next week on the 20th and 21st. Some things to keep in mind. You can also call Recycle Frog and talk to them about your situation. If you got a question, call us right now, 613-789-6559, extension 2803. You can email or Facebook us a question as well. It's Recycle Frog on Ask the Expert. We'll be right back.